It's ready to go live, and it'll go live here. And there we are. We are now live. It says we are here. We are here.
Yay!
Hello, people. This is Art Joy sharing with my friends, and I have Vicki Brown here this morning. Good morning, Vicki.
Good morning.
And I see we have Peggy Bradford and Tink in the house, so we got peoples.
Good, because I was afraid no one would show up. That is every live person's paranoia, I think. I'll get on there, nobody will come.
Well, you know, I know that there's a lot of people that are at home just because they're off for the vacation or they're, stuck at home for whatever reason. And this actually is probably a pretty good time to chat with people.
Well,
I'm thinking.
I don't mind doing it because you and I are in the same time zone, so I don't have to get up 3 hours earlier to do it.
Sorry, I didn't catch that.
Huh?
I didn't catch that.
Oh, I'm glad we're in the same time zone, because if I lived somewhere else, I would have to get up really early, or
No, Shell actually gets up early for me.
I don't know if I like anybody enough to do that.
She's out there, she's out there where it's hot, and I'm over here where it's cold, and yeah.
And I'm kind of in the middle of you guys.
Yeah.
Kind of between y'all.
Well, yeah, kind of, sort of, if you go down and around and about, sort of.
Yeah,
anyway.
That's where I travel.
So what we're doing with this whole thing is, Art Joy Sharing is a community, and I really wanted to have the community meet and greet one another. And so Vicki and I have known each other for a number of years now. And there are a lot of people like that within the group that I think y'all need to get to know, because they're kind of cool people. So anyway, do you remember, Vicki, when did we meet?
We met because I was feeling pitiful as an artist, and Shannon Green belonged to a chat group, and I said, well, can I join? And she said, well, I have to ask the group. I was like, wow, that's really serious. And then Cindy Utter sent me a note saying, we'd be glad to have you. What do you do? And I was like, I really don't know. And you were in the group. So I didn't know anybody in the group except for Shannon. And I had a conversation via YouTube, comments with Cindy about a ring she had on in a video. That was it. I didn't know anybody else in there.
Well, that's how we meet and greet people these days. Everything's at a a lot of what I did in those early days, because I was retired and staying up, was online. And so those Google Plus Hangout things were my savior. I mean, it's how I met you. It's how I met Shell. We were just hanging out and making art. And then they took that away from us.
Yeah, that kind of circled the drain real quick after I joined the group. Yeah.
So, we're still here hanging out and making art, but things have changed over time.
Hopefully they've gotten better. I don't feel so alone. Even though it's majority of it's on the computer, I still feel like I'm connected. And I think that's what people need. If I can't see you, at least I can type to you and you respond, or I can see you in a Zoom or on FaceTime or whatever. People still need the human connection. I can't touch you, give you a hug, or nothing like that, but this is still a connection. And I think so many people, this is very useful for them. This might be the only time they
hugs, but they're not the same.
No.
They're just not the same. So I want to say good morning to Marie too. And Tink says that she's doing her usual thing. She's working and hanging out with us. So that's good. That's good.
Wow, spreadsheets, that's some serious business.
Yeah, I know. I'm glad I'm over those. Mm.
I do spreadsheets, but it's for Christmas cards.
That's a good way to do it. I like Christmas card spreadsheets. I have one of those.
I have people's names and addresses on it, and then the year, and then a send and receive.
Well, speaking of which, in Art Joy Sharing, there is the rack file, Random Act of Kindness. So if anybody wants, somebody to share their stuff with, because, we all make lots of stuff, use that rack list and send stuff out because, yeah. Okay, so moving on. We all have our style or the things that we like to do or our comfort zone. What's yours, Vicki?
I'm mainly a doodler. I like short-term, mind-numbing projects. Something where I don't have to make a huge commitment. I can scribble down something with a Bic pen and a piece of notebook paper, and that's it. I've been a doodler my whole life. It's just that I found out that you could do it with structure and style because I took a class, and then that set me down the rabbit hole.
Yeah, Vicki knows I am not a doodler.
Oh, I've seen the stuff you do. That's not true.
Vicki and a few others have talked me into doing what I call doodling, because we got into that whole black and tone tan thing last year.
Yep.
There's another file for that out there in Art Joy Sharing. So if you're a doodler and you like black and tone tan pages, check it out. But yeah, where I went down the rabbit hole with the whole doodle thing was when we were doing the Aboriginal art thing.
Oh yeah.
I was looking at that and I was like, oh, that is so cool. That is
I was
so
looking
cool.
on my Pinterest page last night at Aboriginal art thinking, I really need to whip out my Posca pens and do something. And instead I ended up doodling on a piece of tissue paper.
So, you guys out there, are any of you guys doodlers? Are y'all following Vicki? Tell us about your channel, Vicki. Tell us who you are on YouTube.
Oh, my channel name is Messy Table Studio. And I just, lately I have not been doing a lot of videos. I think a lot of people during COVID have, kind of slowed down, or bless the hearts of the ones who sped up. Bless them. So my channel just has whatever I feel like doing. I do doodles. I make mini books. Everybody fools around with jelly prints and dyeing paper. Just I'll see something and go off on a tangent on it.
Yeah, like we do, like right down the rabbit hole.
I do frequently. Mostly it involves paper. I did quilling for a while, and it's all about paper. It's not about like metal pieces and like I like paper.
Yeah. So when did you first decide to do videos?
That's y'all's fault. That group, everybody in there, I think at the time made YouTube videos except for me. And everybody said, oh, it's so easy. You should try it. I was like, I don't know. And then before you know it, I have a Logitech camera. And then like, it's like, oh my gosh, this has really gone crazy. And that's what started the whole thing, is that I belonged to a group where everybody else had more courage than I did.
No, you are very courageous. You are willing to jump in and do things that I don't know if I would. So
well, the good thing is the pool is full.
Well, when you start things like the carving December and stuff like
Oh,
that, that takes guts.
that has been so much fun. I don't know how proficient I am, but I keep trying. One of these days, something really good's going to come out of it, and I'll be shocked. Surprise! Whoa!
You have lots of good stuff come out because I've seen your designs, on your stencils and things that
Well, thank
lots of
you.
good stuff.
It's fun. I only do it because I enjoy doing it. I don't do it to make money. I don't do it for therapy. I do it to avoid cleaning house.
Thus the robotic vacuum cleaner, right?
Yes, I love my Roomba. I cannot say enough good stuff about my Roomba. That is
Oh,
amazing.
that's sincere. Carla says she loves your
Yeah.
carvings.
The Roomba has freed up time for me. And if I could like have somebody else do all the cooking, that would be even better. I know
Yeah.
everybody loves their Instapot, so I haven't quite gone down that road yet, but I have a feeling it's coming.
Well, I still use my crock pot a lot.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Only usually in the winter months or in the summer when it gets too hot here and I want to roast, having the oven on is just not an option here. It's just not an option for me.
And that's when you send Q outside to barbecue, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's his job. He should go out and sweat. Listen, I am not into sweating.
So now that you've gotten into this whole video realm,
Yeah.
what kind of tips or advice do you have to give people starting out?
Just do it. Just do it. The, do it with somebody who's technologically savvy, like Peg, and spend a lot of time biting your fingernails, thinking you're not going to be able to make it look. Just do it. Look, if you don't try, you will never know. And if it doesn't go well, then you know you're not going to go back to that again. Or you get the feeling that I'm going to try. I kind of liked it. It didn't succeed this time, but maybe if I do it this way next time, it'll be better. So, but there comes a time where you're going to have to cut bait. If you really don't like doing it, then don't do it again. That's
But
for
I
me.
think
It's dry.
don't you think it's kind of like that in all of our artistic endeavors that
Yes.
maybe we don't think we can do something, or we're not good enough at doing certain things, and it's just like, well, just do it. And
Yep.
then it's about the practice. You don't have it right the very first time you do it. You do it over and over again until you get it the way that you want it. I don't go back and look at my videos, I'm telling you.
Oh, well, my lovely group of artsy friends make fun of me because they say I do a project 50 times. And I kind of do, and that just killed me. They know me so well.
That pot roast is good.
I want to make a book, and I want it to be the best book I can make it. And then I learn from the mistakes of the first book, and then I fix them in the second book. And then you make new mistakes. So you got to fix that in the third book. By the time you get to the 49th book, you're like, okay, I'm going to do one more book. Number 50 will be perfect. Maybe. Maybe.
So while you're making those 50 books, what are you working on now? What's lighting your fire?
Carve December right now. We're at the end of it, and I'm doing that. And then I'm doing it's not really December daily, but I'm doing a little tiny Christmas book with people's Christmas cards that they send me. I don't want to throw them away, but I also don't want them to pile up and sit in a pile and do nothing. So I cut them up and arranged them in a little book, and then I put the year on it. And so this is my second year trying this. And I didn't fill the book up this year, so I don't know what I'm going to do.
Did you videotape any of your carving?
I did, but it's never going to see YouTube. Never going to see it.
But you put some out on Instagram, right? Did you put any in Art Joy Sharing?
No, no, okay, so I'm a lazy media person. I'm a lazy artist. What can I say? If I'm not in the mood, I don't do it. And even if I'm in the mood, sometimes other life things happen. Don't do it. Don't you do that.
Okay, I am going to be looking for those posts in Art Joy Sharing. I'm just saying. I'm going to be looking for those posts.
I put the tan tone stuff in. I did the ATC challenge and I did Art Journal Habit twice. Enough.
Um, and I'm very thankful for that. I enjoyed seeing what you did, you know.
I, you
I
know,
just enjoy seeing all of what you do. So,
I I'm not a consistent artist in time commitment. Like doing something for 30 days, doing something for 61 days or whatever. If it doesn't move me that day, I'm not doing it. I'll go sit on the couch and watch TV. I'll think about doing it, but that doesn't mean I actually get up and go do it. I think about cleaning a house, but it does not mean I actually get up and go do it.
yeah, cleaning house. That's another.
That's why I love my Roomba.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. So, would you say your favorite tools would be your pens, or what do
Yeah.
you work with mostly?
Don't even have to think about it. I love pens, pencils, markers. There is one set of things that I'm very ambivalent about, and that is the brush, watercolors, brush, whatever's.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I The jury's still out for me on those because okay, it's a control issue. Let's face it. I can't control them. I'm not very good at that part. A pen, you put it on the paper, you move it around, it's fine. But the liquid stuff is a little scary for me. So it's mostly pens and pencils and Posca markers.
Unless you're dyeing paper, right?
Yeah, I like dyeing paper. That's a lot of fun. Messy, but it's fun. That's
Mhm.
good messy. I even got dressed up today with a shirt with no paint or ink on it. Are you impressed?
I'm not guaranteeing I don't have paint somewhere. I was already doing something this morning. My hands don't look too bad. I'm surprised. Um,
I cleaned my hands when I was in the shower because I did something this morning and had ink on it. I went, ooh, they're clean. This might be the last time.
oh man. So,
Yes, ma'am.
um, if there was one thing that you wanted to add, one thing that you really want to learn about or do or create, what would that be?
I think I would like to learn how to properly bind a book. I like making the 3-hole pamphlet stitch. That's like a standard thing. And I did some Japanese stab. I did Coptic, and I really like the Coptic stitch. But I would like to do more fancy Coptic stitches with the fancy binding on the thing. And then I would like to learn how to properly do a book binding where you use the cloth and the paste and the little torture thing with the screws on it and the wood,
Yeah.
the whole thing, the press. I think I might like to make a better book.
Do you have the whole press thing to put your book into, to glue it up and all of that?
No, but I have someone who can make me one.
I was just gonna say, I bet I know somebody that could fix you up with that.
That's on my honey-do list.
Isn't it good that we have some people that we can rely on, that when we don't know how to do something, they can just whip it right out there?
Yeah, either that or Amazon, one of the two.
Well, I mean, I did, I had a whole thing with Arnold Grum paper making for a while. I had the whole box that you bits of fiber and everything into and pressure paper and everything. Yeah, I got rid of all that.
I did paper making years ago where you put the cotton stuff in your blender with the water with like toilet tissue and paper towels. And then I got the cotton fiber stuff from the craft store. Then I made a decal and what a mess. And then I thought, well, you can't ride on it. It's too bumpy. So it went for me.
Yeah, but it's cool
Pretty.
paper. I mean, I liked seeing all the little inclusions in the paper.
Yeah.
Um,
But for a
but
duper, that's like the kiss of death.
the other thing that I did with the paper thing was I got fancy cookie molds.
Oh.
And so I would press the pulp and stuff into the
Ooh.
cookie mold. So and you know, for the holidays, I was making these molded paper ornaments for the Christmas trees.
Oh my.
Those were pretty cool. And then the other thing that the cookie molds were good for was beeswax, because you could scent your beeswax and pour it in the cookie molds and then put your little ribbon in there and have a little beeswax ornament.
I
Then you
made,
hang those in the window and they smell good.
oh yeah, I've made candles in the past. I bought the molds and 40-pound block of wax. I end up giving it all away. I've done cross stitch and crochet and I knit. And, I think everybody goes through these phases where they have to try everything. And then finally you find the sweet spot. And for me, it was quilling, which led to other paper things. But basically, it's all about paper.
You are a quilling queen, I have to say. I have seen your work. I
Oh,
have seen. Do you have any of it there that you could show? She's got some of the coolest little vessels and bowls and beads and all kinds of things that she has done with quilling that are amazing.
I think my most favorite thing to do with quilling is to make bowls and
Yeah,
little containers.
yeah.
This is out of paper. I think that is a scrapbook paper. It was black and white, and then this is the edge is quilling paper. But I have probably 30 or 40. I purged a lot of my stuff, but these I could not part with these. I just am crazy about these little containers. They absolutely have no purpose. But I like them. They just make me happy looking at them. You know that Kamari thing where they go, "Does it bring you joy?" Yes.
Well, and that's just it. You had fun making them. You have fun looking at them.
I do.
I don't care what you put in them. I don't care if it's just, a ring or a key or a whatever, they're cool. I like
Yeah,
them.
I really like doing the little pots. Again, it's because it's repetitive things. I think I'm a repetitive person for doing artwork, and I like tedious, mindless tasks because my mind can go somewhere else and my hands do what they have to do. And then I'm making the grocery list. I'm doing all kinds of other things in my head.
Which is, I think that's one of the things about you that makes you really good at the art that you do, because you practice. You keep trying it until you get it to where you like it. Hey, Laura, good morning.
Hey, Canada.
Yeah, Canada's in the house.
I just
So,
like repetitive things. I don't know why. Maybe it's something from my childhood, or I don't know. I don't know where that comes from.
well, I remember practicing penmanship. It was never fun for me, but I have to admit it did make my handwriting better because it was atrocious. It's still atrocious, but it's, it
I,
helps some.
I used to have really nice handwriting, and as I've gotten older, I noticed that I'm not as thoughtful about my handwriting. I think it's from using a computer.
Well, you probably have something there, because we're all typing these days or talking to Siri or doing something instead of,
Writing.
yeah, yeah. I actually got a few calligraphy pens. I have a few of the, what do they call those? Fountain pens,
Yeah.
the fountain pens, and I was filling these with some different color inks that you guys had provided.
Ooh.
So I wanted to try out, using the different pens. I have one of those glass, I don't know what they call those. Are those calligraphy?
The glass pen?
Yeah.
No, you sent it to me.
Well, they're a fountain. Hello.
You have more?
Did I have enough to share?
I know you sent me one because I played around with it. I've never seen one before. Not like using it. It was pretty in the box. And I thought, well, I should try it. And I did. And I was like, I kind of like this. I don't know if I like it enough to use it all the time, but I think it's a curiosity that I kind of think it's cool, but I just don't know what to do with it.
Make marks. Make marks.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, honestly, that's the whole thing about these different pens and nibs and things is, learning what I can make with all these different things is fascinating to me, and how I love the different sizes of lines that you can get. And, one of the reasons that Shell and I like that brush pen is because with the pressure, you get the differences. So
Not my thing.
anyway, did you see Laura's saying, hey, Texas?
Yes. I call her Canada. She calls me Texas. I don't
Yeah.
know what started that,
Mhm.
but I always know that that's Canada.
Yeah. Yeah.
She put something on Facebook yesterday. It made me laugh. She goes, "We're nice." And I'm like, "Yes, you are." Was there any doubt?
Not in my mind.
No. No. Canadians are very nice people.
Oh. So
We run out of questions already?
does that matter?
No. And so I'm not that interesting, so it should take like really quick.
I think we've been going through things pretty well. So what's next on your agenda? Like what are you starting on in January?
I signed up for Wonderlust because of influence from other people that I know. So I don't consider myself an art journaler because I don't do it every day and it's very sporadic. It's very weird. I tried it and it's not for me to do something every day out of my comfort zone. So I decided that I would try again. And so I signed up for Wonderlust and so I'm going to try that and see what happens. I don't know.
Well, and okay, here's the thing. I don't think you have to be an art journaler to enjoy or learn taking a class like that because it's a mixed media class.
Good.
And you're learning about a lot of different things from a lot of different people.
Yeah.
So it isn't just working in a journal. Like you work in a journal now when you're doing your doodles and stuff.
Right.
Or when you're carving your stamps and you're stamping in a journal.
Right.
That's art journaling, whether you realize it or not.
Don't tell anybody.
You are an art journaler because you have art journals.
No, okay? I don't want to be an art journaler. No. No. I want to go kicking and screaming all the way. No. I don't do it the way you do it. And so I really never considered myself an art journaler per se. Like there's not painting and a lot of stuff like that going on. It's like pen and paper and then I stamp stuff and that's basically, well, maybe a couple glue books here, there, and yonder, but that's about it. I don't.
But think about the journals that I have. I mean, not everything is mixed media. I have journals that are just watercolor. It's still an art journal.
Well, okay, so I have an art journal that I found somebody on Instagram that I really liked her drawing. And so I created a book just for those drawings. And so I keep those drawings in that book. If that's journaling, then fine.
Yeah. I mean, to me, art journaling is the practice. It's getting out that book that has whatever kind of paper in it that you want to work on, whether you're doing a painted surface or watercolor or chalk or whatever. It's got, the tone tan, the paper is black, all of those surfaces that we have in those journals, and practice on that.
Okay, so my Coptic stitch book, I put the Strathmore tone tan paper in there. And so if that's an art journal, then yes, I did do that.
Rennie's doing Wanderlust. All right.
I saw that.
What'd she say? No stigma?
Yeah, about being an art journaler. For me, there is.
Oh.
It's not, the thing is, it's just not what I'm striving to do. I don't know. I see so many art journals have a lot of paint and wet media and books of stuff like my stuff's not like that. So I really didn't consider that to be art journaling because that's not the journal I've seen.
When I started art journaling, my art journaling is not what I think of automatically when I think about art journaling. Because when I think of art journaling, it's more like those people that have all of the written word and, maybe a few pictures of things in it or some ideas. And I'm not that kind of journaler at all.
I'm not either.
I mean, I do some pages where I may have written some things down that I needed to get off my chest, but usually I'm slapping some paint or something over the top of it. And I see people who do the journals that are like daily accounts of things in their life, and or the ones where they're collecting quotes or
if I do a journal about what I do every day, it would be 2 or 3 pages because it's the same thing every day. Take care of the dogs, run the Roomba, and avoid washing dishes. I mean, it just, my life is very simple. It's very nondescript. So that's why I think I chose doodling and art to entertain myself with, is because I think it brings out something inside of me that not everyone in the public sees. I'm kind of a boring person. I'm not that exciting. I don't travel. I don't go a lot of places. I'm basically a homebody. And I think that I'm near an agoraphobic.
Well, but art has been part of your life for a very long time.
Since I was a little kid. My father was a painter.
Yeah. So it's part of who you are. And I don't find that boring. I find it fascinating, the things that you have done, the knowledge that you have gained, with your yarn. You have that whole yarn thing going on that I don't do. You did the weaving and you did the crocheting and you did the knitting and
that all came from when I was a child. My grandmother taught me how to knit and how to crochet. But she did that so she could take a nap and keep us entertained in the living room so we'd be quiet. And then as I got older, I found that it was very meditative and relaxing. Yeah. And out of that quiet time, there was a creation. There was a reward at the end. That's it. It's a reward, whether it's a reward that other people see or it's a reward that I enjoy. I am rewarded for my time. And people think I'm very spastic. And so they're very surprised that I knit. They're very surprised that I can sit still in one spot to do something on a continual basis. And I find that funny because I'm very sedentary. My mouth is not sedentary. My bottom is.
But I think a lot of people use it. I mean, I remember going to meetings and things, and people would have their little bag full of yarn, and they'd be sitting there in a meeting knitting or crocheting and doing stuff. It's one of those crafts that can travel with you. Of course, we travel with a lot of crafts. I was sitting here this morning, and it's like, well, what am I going to do while I'm talking? And I'm taking some images and I'm putting some color on them, and it's like, I think we're kind of the people who don't just sit.
Never.
We're doing something,
Never. If I'm sitting, I'm knitting, I'm crocheting, I'm doodling, I'm coloring, I'm sketching, I'm cutting things out. I can't just sit and watch TV anymore. Those days are long, long gone, 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 gone. I can't just sit anymore. I don't know what that's like. Even some of the ladies that I know, this knitting group that I used to belong to, they said that they were sure that the preacher in the church that they go to wouldn't mind if they knit during a sermon. I listen better when my hands are busy.
Well, and I have to agree with that. I tend to get in the zone, and just do. My husband always thinks I'm not paying any attention to him
That's not true.
because I've got several different directions that this brain is going at the same time.
Mhm.
And I'm this right here is tuned into him. I'm hearing what you're saying, honey,
You have two
but I'm
ears.
also looking at the stuff that's on the desk.
Well, that's just like when my oldest son was 5 years old, he got busted by me for something that he did that he thought I didn't know about. And I had really long hair then. And he walked around the couch, and I told him, he goes, how do you know what I did? I said, because I have eyes in the back of my head. So he went around to the other side of the couch and he was digging through my hair. I'm like, what are you doing? He goes, I'm looking for the other set of eyes. He doesn't know it, but my friend called me and ratted him out. He was just a little kid, and it was really funny. See, I don't want to cross stitch a Christmas stocking. That's too much commitment for me.
Yeah, Rennie's talking about bullet journals.
Is that where they do the daily accounting of everything? I don't know.
Yeah. Well, remember I was starting on this one
Yeah.
for next year, which is more of that style. Not really for me, but because it has the daily stuff in there. And this right here is the bullets,
Oh, well, see, mine would be basically, I got up, I got dressed, I went into the art room. I ran the Roomba, I fed the dogs.
No, yours would be.
I tried
know
to
what
do
yours
a
would be.
thing.
Yours would be this list of, I want to do this, I want to do this, I need to order that. Ooh, and I think I need to talk to so-and-so because she knows how to do, and I've got the paper to, so it'll be, I can see your list. I can see your brain whirling around right there.
It's spastic. It's really funny because nobody knows me like my art friends do. No, nobody else knows me as well as my very core group of art friends. They know the good, the bad, the ugly, the warts, and then they know what gets me excited. And that's comforting to have a group of friends that you can lean on, or you can go and get information from, or they can tweak you a little bit and set you off into the stratosphere.
Well, one of the things that the audience may not know about us, you and me, is that we've actually been able to meet in person a couple of times. So, we have gotten to know each other better, even though she's in Texas and I'm in Iowa.
I drive.
We have gotten to know each other better over the years, and it's been several years that we've been hanging,
I
So
think we're going on 4 or 5.
is it that much? Oh my gosh.
At least 4. At least 4. Yeah.
Cross stitching.
To do what?
I'm trying to figure out what she's talking about.
I don't know what. I'm not sure. Anyway, I it's nice. People go, oh, you should not meet people on the internet. They could be axe murderers. Well, at least they're axe murderers who do great art.
Well, I always go back to that story that Shannon told about going to the thing where she was sharing a room with somebody that she'd never met. I have to say, I'm guilty. I have done that.
I've done it times.
And it's all turned out okay.
Yep.
And I'm saying, what's the worst that could happen? I could go out and climb back in my car and go back home. It's the willingness to take a chance to, meet somebody, to form a community. And that's what I want this whole Art Joy sharing thing to be, is this artist community where, you get to know each other and know what your likes and interests are. And, I've got some extra yarn I'm not using. I know who to send it to, that kind of thing.
We swap, I think, between my core group of friends, we spend thousands of dollars at the post office.
And it's not because we bought a bunch of stuff.
No, we're sending it all to each other. Well, you need this, you need that. I got some. I'll get you a box in the mail tomorrow.
Yeah, don't go buy that. I sent them in the cupboard.
And if somebody buys a pen and they don't like it, I get them. So
true.
And I some of the stuff that I bought, I would send off to somebody else who really liked it, because there's no point in letting it go to waste. It's taking up space that I could fill it up with stuff I like, instead of something I bought and then I'm like, nah, I don't think so. It's not for me.
Yeah. We were just having that conversation this morning because I said, do you know what these are?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. And
so, yeah.
About the AJOS community is that I'm seeing art and things that I have never seen people do before. And there is a woman, and I feel really bad. I can't remember the woman's name, who is a wonderful doodler, right? She is like way past what I do. And I look at her art and I think, I know everybody goes, you should not compare yourself to somebody else. That's not why I do it. I look at hers and I think, ooh, I need to step up my game. I need to work harder at this. I'm not comparing myself to make myself feel bad. I'm comparing myself to that person thinking, is this, can you take a class on how to do this? Can I learn how to do this? What kind of pen did she use? What is that paper? Is it in a book? Where did she learn how to do that? It's not that, oh my God, my stuff's not good enough. That is not where I am.
No, but the other thing about the community is, like, when somebody puts something in there, or you know how Facebook is. We don't all see the same stuff because it kind of feeds you what you want. Or
yes.
And so, like, if I see something that I think Vicky likes, or Vicky sees something that I like, we tag each other. It's like, did you see that? Did you, and that's where the whole community thing comes in. It's like, oh my gosh, we got to try that. That's so cool.
It's not a competition. The only person that I'm competing with is myself. Okay, so this is very weird. I look at art that I did in 2012, 2013, and I look at it and went, wow, it's kind of changed. Not sure if it's for the better, but it's changed. And then I look at it and I look at other stuff. I go, oh, I haven't done that in a long time. I really like the way this looks. And my style has changed, my techniques, everything has changed. And it's from the influence of people on the internet, strictly from the internet. It's not because I bought a bunch of books or took a bunch of classes. I just haven't done that. Not a lot of it. So it's from the people in the group.
We see things and we get influenced by what we see. And then it's like, well, I want to try that. I want to, can I do that? That's, and that's why a lot of the things that are posted in there, the photos and the albums and things, are just there so that people can peruse and say, wow, look at that. Wonder what that is, And then if you don't know something, our group is very friendly. You can say, hey, Vicky, hey, Peg, hey, what is that? What did you do?
The,
I
the
mean,
thing
yeah, we
about
do some videos, but not everything's in a video.
no, and the thing about the way I do art is I jump first, I ask questions later. I'm kind of harebrained like that. That I will. That's like putting together something and then reading the instructions afterwards. Ooh, I had a screw left. Oops.
Rennie's asking about the free class that Diane did yesterday. I did tag it. I don't know if I watched the whole thing because it's pretty much stuff that she's done before, but she did offer a free one. So if you're on her Diane Reevely page, it's out there recorded and it's free. So if you want to watch it, you can.
Oh, okay.
Laura's asking Rennie if it was good. I'm waiting to see a reply.
Oh, all of a sudden.
Some help with creating contrast.
Oh, that's over my head. that one's not that's not for me.
Okay, so anyway, yeah, we're off and running on something else now. So
We're always like that, squirrel.
I know. And I'm the worst at it. I really am. But the whole thing with the community is we need to know what you guys want. I keep saying that. Shell and I keep saying that. One of the things that we're going to be doing are things like this, where Vicky and a few other people and whoever are going to get introduced to the group so that you guys, because I know you don't all have the same interests that I have, or you may have questions about things that I can't answer because I don't do cross stitch and I don't do knitting and I don't do, but I think those things are cool. And, if you want to share it, you can, because it's joy of sharing.
Well, that's like alcohol inks. I don't do alcohol inks. I like watching it. There's lots of things that people do in the group that I'm not going to try, or I don't want to buy stuff to do it, but I love seeing it. That I like watching people do pottery. I'm not doing it. So, and something else. I don't know I want to do it till you demonstrate it. If I don't see it first, I'm never going to know if I like it or not, or want to try it.
Well, we're all inundated with Pinterest and Instagram and all that, and I can look at a lot of pretty pictures, but that doesn't mean that I can pick up my tools and create that look, or that's what the community is helping with. That when we get inspired doing something, whether it's a technique or a product, or we share, and that's.
I like seeing what other people do because I'm not going to do it. Or I see what other people do and I go, oh, wait. This might be good. I think I might have the stuff I need to do this. And then I'll go on and I'll look on YouTube for a technique video. Okay, so this is the silliest thing. I bought an ATG gun, the one of those tape roller guns, because I saw somebody use one. I went, oh my, I like that. I'm a tool and gadget person. So I bought it and then it ran out. And I was like, I don't know how to do this. I got on YouTube and said, how do I load my ATG gun? Some woman did a video on how to put that thing in. Do you know I've been watching that same video every single time I have to reload the gun?
And do you know that everybody that has one of those guns has to watch that video, because nobody knows how to load that gun?
I've had that gun 10 years. 10 years and I still can't load it.
I just laugh every time I see that. I was at a what was it, Michael's. They were at one time, Michael's had a classroom, and they would let you come and work there. I think it was a several dollar fee, and you could go in and you could use their tables and their supplies and things.
Yeah.
And at the end of the night, when we were packing up to go home, they always had a drawing for a gift.
Whoa. How did I miss that?
Well, I won one of those silly ATG, whatever they're called, guns. I tried to use it for about a week. Couldn't use it. It's not me. It's just not me. I ended up the next time we were back at Michael's, I took it back with me, and my friend was there, and I said, "Do you use this thing?" And she says, "Oh yeah, they're the best." And I said, "Here."
When I bought it, the stupid thing was like $40 or $50, and I had a coupon, and I thought, okay, I got a 50% off. I'm buying it. I want one. And son of a gun, I love it, but I still can't put the refill in there. It's really, it's so sad.
It's to each his own, to each his own. Everybody has their thing.
Oh my goodness. See, you know what is not for me that I know my group friends use? Foiling. Not my thing. I'm not a shiny, sparkle, glitter sort of person. So foil is shiny. Not for me. So I understand the paper piercing. I get it. I get it.
Yeah, you did a whole thing with that Pergamano deal.
That was fun. It's tricky, but it's fun. And then I ordered vellum. And then I learned how to doodle on vellum. And then I ran it off of my printer and learned how to color it in with alcohol markers. See? Right down that rabbit hole. And now I love doing stuff on vellum. I don't do paper piercing, but I like the vellum thing.
Hey, Arlene, how are you?
No tape guns, and she agrees on the foil thing. Oh, thank goodness, because I thought I was the only one.
To each his own. I'm just saying, I mean, I have to be in the right mood for foil. Foil is kind of frustrating for me because it involves sticky stuff. And if you get the foil in the wrong spot, it's like, So I have to be in the right mood for foil.
But there is an exception. That was that Nuvo, the foil flakes in that big jar thing.
Oh, they go when you open the lid. Yeah.
And I was too dense to turn off the ceiling fan. That stuff was flying around for months in my studio because I was like, why isn't it staying in one place? And that fan's going.
Well,
okay.
Where I've used those flakes is on my gel plate.
Never done that. Oh, now see, oh no.
Well, because they will stick to the gel plate. And then when you pull it up with the paint, you get some flaky stuff in there.
Oh my God. Let me go get my gel plate. I gotta go. Listen,
well, I had to find a use for that stuff.
I had 3 containers of it, silver, copper, and gold. Maybe I should nail the copper to shell.
Probably.
So that, I mean, I enjoyed it, but I don't know what to do with it, but I'm not getting rid of it because for some reason, I just like looking at it in the jars. Is that weird?
Well, eventually you will find a use for, a lot of things. I may not use them in the typical fashion that they're selling them for.
Right.
But I find uses, it's just like when I was doing the alcohol lift ink thing, and it's like, oh, I bet that would be cool on a gel plate.
See, I didn't know I might like it until I saw you do it on the video. I mean, I've watched you do it a million times, but finally, I was like, oh, where has this been all this time? So I did the alcohol lift thing. I was like, oh, this is really cool. I liked it. Yeah. And I'm going to try it again. I like to get better at it, although I don't want to be an expert, but I would just like what I tried to come out a little bit better.
Well,
So
and I actually like what you stamp, what you're picking up and stamping off, not just what you have on the plate. So it's like this is a win-win. I
I
like it.
enjoy it. That's like embossing powder.
Mhm.
I've got a container of embossing powder. I don't think I've opened it in a year, but I'm not getting rid of it because I know I like it. I just not using it currently.
Yeah.
Cross stitch went though. 15
So
bags of it.
anyway, I want you to tell people where they can find you, where other than just in Art Joy Sharing, because they know that you're there. But tell them where they're going to find you, and maybe even something about some of the products that you have.
My YouTube channel is Messy Table Studio, and I got that name because everything in the beginning when I first started was on my dining room table, and it was a messy table. And honest to God, that's how the name started. It was just a dumb thing, because it was quilling paper everywhere, all over the dining room table, and it was messy, and we never ate at the table. I was like, well, it's a flat spot. Let's do it. So that's how the name became what it is. I have an Etsy store, Messy Table Studio. Usually when I sign on the computer, I'm confused whether or not I'm me or I'm Messy Table Studio. I can never get it straight, but most times than not, I think I'm under Messy Table Studio on Facebook or whenever we do these things.
Well, and you're on Instagram too, right?
Yes, but my account is private. So unless
Oh,
you do
okay.
art, unless you do, and it's under VA Pearl, capital V, capital A, capital P, URL. Because I've gotten some weird things, and I don't put weird people on my Instagram account. They've got to be artists, or they cook, or they knit, or they do something that I'm interested in, that I enjoy seeing. Dogs, that kind of thing. But my Instagram is private, so people have to come through me to open up the gate. I have a stencil line with What If NC. She's still there. That came out. I don't know. When did it come out, Peg? I don't remember. 4 or 5 months ago?
I think so, something like that, yeah.
Have I done a video?
And we will be looking forward to that video in the
Oh God, the pressure. I carved from my stencil. I took a stencil and put it on the rubber and outlined it. So I carved a rubber stamp out of one of my stencils.
Cool.
And I did videos of how to use them for alternative things, not just on a jelly plate.
Yeah.
And then I erased them all.
Okay.
I didn't like them. So I went back and deleted all of them, and now I got to start all over again. 25 more times.
Yeah.
So if you buy a stencil off of my Etsy store, I don't keep stencil inventory here. I send a note to my friend who is doing the stencil cutting for me. What If NC down there in the comments, Carla.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then she mails them out from her house because she has the machine that cuts them. I doodled on paper and they go, oh, you should make stencils out of these. I'm like, no, really? They're not that interesting. They go, oh yeah, you got to do this. So I did it.
Well, and I think a number of us have made stencils that way because Carla can cut just about anything.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Anyway, I think we'll probably wrap this up for today. I want to thank you, Vicki, for having been here with me and sharing your experiences. Now, everybody knows who you are.
Oh.
So I'm hoping that, you can make that connection with some other people in the group that have similar interests. And,
Thank you for having me. It was fun. It's kind of weird talking to somebody as opposed to somebody you don't know. because I can say things and then I forget there's other people out there. I was like, "Ooh, maybe I shouldn't have said that. Maybe we should just, cut that part out."
Nah, you're just hanging with us. It's just us. We're good.
Okay, a small group of a couple hundred people. It's just an intimate group.
Anyway, right. Well, I want to thank you for jumping in and having this conversation. We're going to have more conversations with more artists, and so I hope people come back, that they like this, that they're getting to know some of the people in the community, so that we can form this friendship bond that's going on here.
I'm looking forward to meeting some of the other people. I mean, I deal with them on YouTube or on Instagram, but some of these people I've never seen, and I follow them, but I've never really seen them. So it's not just the other people at AJOS, it's the rest of us that are, we want to see everybody too. It's not just about us. It's about the other people too. I want to see them.
Right. And in this day and age where we've been cooped up and haven't been able to be with people, it's been a real blessing for me to have artist friends that I can commune with.
Yes.
So, to all of you people, and you guys all know, because you're out there in the chat, I thank you for having been with me during these tough times. It has not been easy, and you guys have taken care of me, and I hope you're all taking care of yourselves, and we look forward to better times. So stay safe, stay smart,
stay healthy,
and we will be back again in the new year with some more chatting with some more people, and I hope you all come and join us. So thanks again, guys.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.